All right. Here is I guess, a walkthrough of how to do today's practice quiz and then also tomorrow's quiz. The quiz will be just like this, 4 questions. Uh, so I'll try to avoid using the number 8 so many times. You'll notice I accidentally put it in problems 1, 3, and 4, but I'll try to have a little more variety tomorrow. Anyways, let's get to it. So in every problem, the first step is to figure out A and B. So in problem number 1, you can clearly see right here that A is -1. And then from right here, you can see that B is -8. And over again on this quiz, you're going to use the formula that X coordinate of your vertex is equal to the opposite of B divided by 2 times A. So on this one, if you do that, you get 8, because that's the opposite of -8, divided by 2 times -1 is -2, and that gives you -4. So we know the vertex is at -4 comma something. And then the key now is you have to put -4 back up in place of both of the x's. So you're going to go back up in here, and in place of this x and this x, you're going to change them into -4. So your equation would say y equals the negative of -4 squared minus 8 times -4 minus 14. And remember that -4 squared, I'll circle it for you, is you have to do this part first, and that makes +16, and then you bring the negative down. So that overall becomes -16, and then plus 8 times 4 is 32. And then -16 plus 32 is 16, and 16 minus 14 is 2. So we know the vertex is at the point -4, 2. So I'm going to go there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And we also know, because there's a negative in front of at the beginning of the problem, right here, that the graph will point downwards. So to find your other points, remember you just go out 1 and down 1 squared is 1. And then you go out 2 and down 1, 2, 3, 4, because that's 2 squared. And that's all you have room for. And then your job is to make a graph. And the graph of a parabola, that was really ugly. Let me try that again. Let me see if I can do better. The graph of a parabola, that was better. The graph of a parabola looks, or the graph of a quadratic looks like this. Okay, so the key here is follow the directions, find the vertex. So that's right here is the vertex. And then from there, you just make a graph. All right, on to problem 2. So in problem number 2, um, again, I know that A is 1 because I can see it. It's in front of the x squared. And I know that B is -6. And if I do the opposite of B, that is 6 divided by 2 times A. 2 times 1 is 2. That gives me 3. So I know the vertex is at 3 comma something. And to figure out the something, you just put 3 back in place of the x's in the original problem. And so that's going to look like this. It's going to say y equals through blank squared minus 6 times blank plus 13. And then in those blanks, you just put the 3. So you put a 3 here and a 3 here, and then you do math. 3 squared is 9, minus 6 times 3 is 18, plus 13. 9 minus 18 is -9, and -9 plus 13 is 4. So we know the vertex is at the point 3, 4. So we're going to go right 3 and up 4 and put our vertex right here. And then since there's no negative in front of the x squared, it's going to open upwards. So we're going to go out 1, up 1, out 2, up 2 squared, which is 4. So up 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is that. And again, your job is to try to make a graph And it's kind of hard to graph on this drawing board, but that's really ugly, but I'm going to leave it. So that'll do. All right. Question number 3. Again, we know A and B because we can see them. So A is 1 and B is, again, for the second time out of 3, -8. So if we do negative B, we get 8 over 2 times 1 is 2, and that equals 4. So we know that the vertex is at the point 4 comma something. And again, to find the something, you just replace the x's with 4, the number you just found. So it's going to say y equals blank squared minus 8 blank plus 17. Just putting blanks where the x's used to be, and where they used to be, I'm going to put 4 because that's the x that I know. And then you math. 4 squared is 16. 8 times 4 is 32. 16 minus 32 is -16, and -16 plus 17 is 1. So we're going to go to the point 4, 1 and make a graph or make a dot. And then we're going to find the subsequent points by understanding that because there's no negative right up here where this little arrow is pointing in front of the x squared, then it opens upwards. So we're going to go out 1, up 1, and then out 2, up 1, 2, 3, 4, right here. And you don't have enough room to do any more, and that's okay. So you just graph as many points as the graph will allow you to graph, and that's it. Try to make it look like it has some curvature to it. And then finally, question 4 is this time A is -1. You can see it right in front of the x squared. And B is, for the third time, sorry about that, -8. And if we do negative B, or opposite of B divided by 2A, we get 8 divided by, and then 2 times -1 is -2, and that equals -4. So we know the vertex is at -4 comma blank. So this time again, these are always a little bit harder. That negative in front of the x squared is a turkey. So we're going to write y equals negative or opposite of blank squared minus 8 times blank minus 17. And in place of those blanks, we're going to put the x, -4. And I would like to stress again, just like I did on the first problem, that this right here is critical, that you do the exponent first, and that equals positive 16. But then you take that negative sign down and it makes it back into a negative. And then, of course, -8 times -4 is plus or positive whatever, 32. And then you math. -16 plus 32 is 16 minus 17 is -1. So we know the vertex is at left 4, down 1. So we go there and we put a vertex. And because there's a negative in front of the x squared, then you know that the graph is going to open downwards. Its arms are going to stretch downwards. So you're going to go out 1, down 1. And then out 2, down 2 squared. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this. And yet again, you want to try to make a graph. So that we don't want it to be like you can't have straight lines. And it also, remember, cannot horseshoe back on itself. So the two ways that you'll get busted on a graph, I mean, assuming that your vertex is correct and that it opens the right way. Remember, one way is to make it straight like this, because parabolas are not straight like this. And another way is to have it come down and then start to curve back in like this. Though that is not allowed. Quadratics are functions. These are functions, which means that you can't have the same x value producing two different y values. Remember the vertical line test. Anyways, just make sure you don't break either rule. No straights and no horseshoes, and you should be fine. So again, the directions are pretty clear. And if you want to get a good grade on the quiz, I would recommend you do it exactly like I just did. Just walk through those steps. Remember, you want to find the vertex first. Highlight that. And after you find the vertex, go graph it. And then from the vertex, you just make the normal graph. If you have any questions, let me know. And that's that.